good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with another round, and this time a redo of the Tier 3 race of IRC Esports Season X. Uh, this is Dan, the SSJ Assassin, Sir SSJ Assassin now. Have been for the last 2 seasons, and joining me in the comm box is Kapil Bharat. How are you doing today, man?
Fantastic, good stuff. Could be a little better in terms of health, but happy to be here to see some good old action in the great US of A.
Yes. US of A. In IRL, it's a cringe fest full of celebrities, but this time we just have one celebrity, that is you accompanying me in the comm box. So yeah, a redo for the first time this season for Tier 3 because of the ever-existent issues that this game has, multitude of issues, unfortunately, but we have a job to carry out till carry out the end of the season, unfortunately, in spite of all these setbacks. So yeah, we still go on, and we move on to the track guide in the meantime. Yep, so it's a 5.4 kilometer long, 3.362 mile circuit with 19 corners, 2 DRS zones, one in the main straight and one in, three DRS zones, one in the main straight, one in the curvy straight, and one in the back straight just before the penultimate corner. Expecting a few drivers, many of the drivers to run a really low drag setup, because the only place where you'll be needing the downforce is in that first sector through those S curves. As the second sector is just a very slow turtle-ish paced section, and the third sector is effectively just a whole DRS zone. Let's move on to a Hotlap video provided by yours truly.
Alright then, let's go for a lap on board SSJ Assassin from Tier 1 for a lap of the brand new Miami Street Circuit. We cross the line, DRS open as we come down to turn 1, as we prepare ourselves for what is a cascade of sector 1. As it goes through turn 2 and 3, a swooping set of corners. We come through the S's designed to replicate some of the great modern circuits in Europe. As we flick through turns 4 and 5, make sure to get as much over the curb as you can, and through turn 7 you want to run as wide as you dare before getting a late apex and getting on the throttle as early as you can to maximize the exit onto the first proper straight, if you will, in air quotes. DRS open as you come through turns 9 and 10, not really turns because they're taken completely flat out. As you come to the first major overtaking opportunity at turn 11, get the car braked and turned in as you come through an awkward section here through turns 12 and 13, where you have to lift and coast to get the perfect line through there. The complex chicane of turn 14 and 15, where you have to mount both curves completely, get a good run through turn 16, and now you're on the back straight, where it presents you another overtaking opportunity as we rise and a little bit of elevation change as we come past the Hard Rock Stadium on the left. The DRS open once again, doing speeds of upwards of 320 kilometers an hour as we come down to the braking zone of turn 17. Another major overtaking opportunity, but also an important traction zone as you're immediately turning the car's mechanical grip completely loaded, as again you come flying past the line for a lap of the Miami circuit.
Well, not gonna lie, that was maybe a very rapid lap. Can't judge it myself because I was the one doing it. What are your thoughts on that lap though, Kapil? I will leave it to a second person to judge.
Well, it is for a controller lap. You could see the rapid left-right movements in the lap, but a fine lap nevertheless. Yeah.
Well, controller inputs are actually quite sluggish on this game, but I will take the compliment nevertheless. Thank you, Kapil. Although yes, it is quite tough to nail a good lap in this on this circuit, because of the challenging S section as well as the snail section in the in sector 2. Because in order to really gain some decent lap time over there, you have to like push it absolutely to the edge of the track limits, especially through that that sort of chicane in the underpass. So yeah, it's kind of tough to nail that, nail the whole lap together. And I think the lobby is loaded in. Let's quickly go to the game. So, yep, says session will start in. I don't know why the countdown timer is running. It is supposed to be a short quali. I don't know
I
what's
think
going on.
somebody's made a mess.
Well, if somebody made a mess, it should have been me, because I'm the lobby host.
So let's just watch and see what happens.
Yep.
They might have to restart the lobby. The drivers might be scratching their heads saying, what is going on right now?
Yeah, looks. Oh, okay. The countdown has restarted for some and it's back to 0.
And ended.
Uh,
And it's a one shot, I presume.
Another
No?
one?
Is that a race?
It is a quali session. Let's go. The lobby is loaded loaded in without any fails. Yep.
So you got 15 minutes, so probably towards the end of the session we may be expecting some rain. So ideally the drivers would want to go out, get some laps in, not leave it to the last minute. But yeah, expecting at the end of it when the race looks dry, I think should be a good one.
Yep, the driver standings are also out on display for you. As you can see, not an influencer was leading the championship by around 40 points from Destroyed Rack and the Aston Martin, followed by Shubh Kumar, who had, as I had said in an earlier stream, left the league due to unknown reasons. Meanwhile, in the
focusing on himself for the time being.
Yep.
But yeah, on the constructor side, Aston Martin is just holding a steady lead for now. It's dwindling slowly with time. Got 50, little under 50 laps. That's the main story. Red Bull and Alfa Romeo are close to the mix, along with Ferrari and next one. I think I missed that. But yeah, we've got tight battles all through three.
Yes, indeed. Although out in the front of the pack, though, this whole pack, we've for the most part of the season seen this man over here, Destroyed Rack, and not an influencer in that, or in that papaya McLaren. And another driver, I think that was good as bacon, the Mercedes driver over here, who was casually dancing about due to his maybe desync issues. Completely leading the pack by 4-5 seconds. Like the gap normally you'd see, the gap between these three drivers and the next guy probably P4 or something, 5 seconds behind them. So I mean, if Shubh Kumar was also there, he would also be in that pack in the front. So yeah, these few drivers are setting sort of like a sample for an example, a benchmark for the top drivers in this tier. Oh, that was almost a half spin by AKQ10 there, mounting the curb as he is on his on the first lap, hot lap of this session, taking the S section quite conservatively, lifting a lot through that section as he approaches the back straight, almost a straight because it has two corners here, but yeah, it's pretty much flat out, obviously. Almost hitting 330 k's. Yep, it's going 330. Brakes hard for the 90-degree left-hander. Approaching the snail section. This double apex corner doesn't nail the second apex all too well. Slows down a little too much. Yeah, it's not going so great so far for AKQ10. Finally approaches the third sector. The purple sector 3 you're seeing there is because he's the only one who's done a his first person second lap so far. Approaching the penultimate corner here, you'll have to be really careful of the traction if you are running without assists. This corner especially over here is quite tricky to nail, as strangely enough the car could wheel spin even in 4th gear as he makes it across the line with a 129.2. Decent enough lap, I believe. Kapil, what do you think? Oh,
Just the beginning.
just as I say, not an influencer beats that record by a second.
Yeah, you can really see for the keen-eyed the differences in the way AK QJ 1013 took his lap. Very conservative in his usage of the curbs and track utilization as well. If you could maybe scroll back to the beginning of the stream where Dan on his outlap was using every inch of the track. That's how you gain all that time. You gotta be aggressive on the curbs. This is a race car, so it's expected to be bumpy out there. You really do need to get your elbows out, use all of it, and that's where the times will start tumbling down. But as it stands, not an influencer with the top step with 128.1, good as bacon. Not, yeah, as expected, the top three having miles ahead of the rest of the pack, and we should see a good contest
Oh,
between the pair of them for sure.
we have a Ferrari P4 and P5. That's. I think I'm jinxing it a lot today, because as soon as I say something, that somebody is gained a particular position, another driver just comes and beats him entirely. As you can see, Ritesh here. Not exactly the smoothest of inputs, but his pace is still there. Uh, he's been quite consistent, or if not marred by bad luck for most of the season. He would definitely be one of the top drivers in this year.
Yeah, that dancing around or strafing, as you see from the cars, is purely because of the horrendous network lag that we see from the game. It's something that the drivers also have to face as they kind of go side by side with the cars. Quite distractive because it doesn't give you the confidence to go side by side with the drivers. But you can be rest assured that he's not feeling it as he drives through. He's just on our end because well, it's not predicted well in terms of the network latency on Codemaster's side.
Well, netcode is a very prevalent issue here. Oof, I think Slowy Red just had a bump with the wall there, and yeah, was he? Yeah, no, that was his in lap. So yeah, I think he hit the wall there. Probably had a wheel spin. So yeah, that is also the corner which Slowy Red was in. Oh, is that an impede? There's a Haas. Okay, yeah, he moved out of the way just in time for that Haas of, I think that was Eric Griffin. Yes, this driver making a comeback after I think, I don't know, probably 1 or 2 seasons, and makes his mark immediately too with the purple sector 1. Carrying a lot of speed through this straight. Oof, almost gets a toe of that. Was that, I don't know if that was a toe or it was an impede by that Alpha Tauri. I think, yeah, that was dead shot. Still going on his outlap. So yeah, that probably might be a report going against him. Eric Griffin does not takes it way too easily through that section. And in a last-ditch effort to make the last as much as he can out of this lap, overrevs that car completely, approaching it's not actually the penultimate corner, I think the second or third or fourth last corner, so brakes really hard. Obviously looks like he's on some sort of traction control, because there was almost no wheel spin there, and yep, he did not. That sector 2 completely took out most of the time that he gained in sector 1.
Yeah, something interesting to note here. We've got 2 drivers who are already out of this session. So Asus Group and Arshit0510
Yep.
are out of the session. I hope Arshit is at least inside so that the coordinators can invite him in some regard.
Well,
The first round of laps are more or less done. We had folks from 15 to 18 little out of sync with the rest of them, but I think the top 3 are on another set of flying laps. You should have a look.
Yep. Are they? Yes, they are. Not an influencer on his second hot lap. Unfortunately, has not turned on his telemetry, and has set a purple sector 1 by I think 2/10. So yep, he is. This man is on a flyer. although yeah, we're only halfway into the into this quali session, so expecting those times to keep tumbling down the further we go.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the rain is going to come out with that little time remaining, but it looks like a very clean lap so far. The drivers getting out of the way as they should. 2 purple sectors, as you can see, 4 tenths up. What about the rest of them? We will have to wait and watch.
Yep. I think yeah, most of these drivers are running the same wing setup because they're all topping out at 333 kilometers per hour. So yeah, he mounts that curve the wrong way completely. It's a very dangerous way to take it because it's unless you're running a very high ride height, your car will almost certainly bottom out there, as Mountain Influencer almost did. I think there's a slow alpha.
English track has improved to under 4 tenths.
Yeah.
And fortunately not able to get the better of not Influencer. Good as Bacon, I think, was unable. He's coming around the last corner, but he's not improving in his middle sector, and he's going to go back into the gate.
Going into the pit box.
Slowy Red, now he's had a flying second lap. He's gone P4. That's great to see. Swagger Turbo, the second Mercedes, is also hot on his tail in P5. Getting out of the way of Ritesh. Now on a flying lap. I love the way he takes the corner, but a little too much curb usage there, but gets away with it. The lap not being invalidated there. Very smartly of him to get off throttle to ensure that he keeps on track and keeps that lap going. So he's a little down on P1, 110 down, but he's still a personal best. So it should be good to continue his charge through the rest of the lap.
Another Ferrari powered car by Sandeep Maridu. Sandeep Maridu, if you ask me, has got a lot of pace in him. It's just that he's been getting caught up quite a lot in many of the incidents. Just has to keep it consistently on the track, and I'm sure the podium is coming his way. Again, right now he's improving two green sectors, but it is down from P1 by 6 tenths. Approaches the hard-braking zone here. He's got to be careful on throttle. Ooh, and no.
At the last braking, that is unfortunate. But he was improving. He got 3 green sectors there. I'm surprised he continued to finish the lap. He could have just gone back in.
Yep.
But yeah. So Ritesh has improved to just under 4.5 tenths from not an influencer. So the Alpha showing some great pace there. The lead Ferrari of AKQJ is second behind, so there is a little bit of a spread as we typically see with Tier 3, but we've got a little under 6.5 minutes, I believe. I may be mistaken. We've got an Alpha Tauri spun there. I believe that was dead shot. No, Mr. Routh. Of course it is. Eric Griffin was... Yeah, I believe he was included. I think he's going to be jumping back into the pits for that. Who else is on a lap? We've got Mohan, probably? No. But Billy Butcher on a lap.
Yep, Billy Butcher should be on lap. I think that Eric Griffin was going back into the pits anyway. So yeah.
Oh, he's got a purple 1 and a green 2. Will he improve? He goes to P2, ladies and gentlemen, ahead of his teammates. So he is showing us what he's got. A lovely lap from Billy Butcher there to go P2.
Slowy Red is okay. Damn, I thought he would actually be. I thought he would actually have set a purple sector, but then yeah, he's 4 tenths off. But yeah, improving on his personal best, I think by 3 tenths, maybe. Let's see. Makes his way through that second sector again. A tricky zone to nail. Yeah, missed the turning point by quite a bit.
I wouldn't actually say so. Okay, so he has not improved and I think he's backed off. No, he's still continuing. But yeah, I think it's a little too anxious there. He would want to ideally come back into the pits if I were him, get bolt on his final set and go for one last for that.
Does he? Yeah, he
And
does.
yes, he does. That's good for him. I think Vinay is the only one who's also
Never
invalidated.
mind.
So I guess it is a bit of a break until last round. But as it stands, your championship contender, not an influencer, who's around 40 points behind Destroyer Drac for the championship, is on provisional pole with a 128.012. He's already out at the end of Sector 1 with only Eric Griffin ahead of him. So hopefully he should have a green track, but the way it's looking like he might encounter some traffic on his actual flying lap. We'll have to wait and see what that's the case.
Yep. Let's just hope that he doesn't encounter said traffic, because yeah, I mean, I don't think it would matter anyway because he's leading anybody else, like the next guy by 3/10. I think, yeah, even, I don't think anybody's here is. They're not influencers, just leagues ahead of everybody else here. So it'll be a tough ask, even if he impedes his lap in the last minute.
So it looks like his only challenge is himself.
Yep.
That's important to follow through to the race because he needs to make up those points to destroy track. So we'll have to wait and see if he has that consistency. But let's walk into his final lap.
Yep. Crosses the start-finish line to begin his flying lap. Breaks, I think, around at the 50-meter point to nail this. The first 2-3 corners are tricky, another tricky traction zone, like I said earlier. But Asses do tend to really help you here. Break a tad earlier to make the corner here, get better exit onto this. I think turn 6 and turn 7. Got to keep it within track limits. I think he's had to lift off quite a bit here. Sorry that I couldn't tell him. Oh, Sandeep Paridu gets a 5-second penalty for illegal blocking. Yeah, that will have to be looked at by the stewards later on. Gets a decent bit of tow by the Alfa Romeo. Or is it a tow or is it an impede? Yeah. Oh, damn. Wait. He's not turned on his ERS. I just noticed.
Smart from him. You can definitely see that it's not improving. So it might just be another flying. A warm-up lap. But who is on a flying lap? Good is Bacon, I believe, has started his final lap.
He's just starting.
Just about to, yeah.
So yeah.
Let's go on board the PS man.
Yep, the only PS driver, only console driver in the one of the 3 drivers in the top 10. No Xbox drivers here, surprisingly. Maybe because they're all too quick for boys here, because all the Xbox boys are in Tier 1 right now. But anyway, moving on with the few. Oh, Lean Sitper sets a lap for P2. We missed that. We started this hot lap a little early. So yeah, quite a bit of jittery movements from Good is Baking here once again due to the desync issues here, making us think that he will go and hit the wall. Breaks at the 100-meter board. Goes a little too wide there. Couldn't get his car stopped in time. Although he is improving on this lap. I don't know by how much because I didn't get to see round time and invalidates his lap completely. I think he's also picked up some. No, he's not picked up any damage. And
Who else is on a lap? You got not an influencer right behind him. We got Billy Butcher and Destroyer Track. Everybody is on a lap.
Not an influencer, although is improving. He's set a personal best, not a purple sector. He's lost time. The telemetry does not show by how much though. Probably because it's he is his own benchmark. So we'll just wait and see by how much he improves. In the meantime, Billy Butcher closely following him behind. Yeah, almost looked like he had lifted off. Is that a wing set with penalty corner? I don't know. It was not an influencer. Does not improve. Neither does Billy Butcher. Way off his time by around, I think, 3/10. Good destroy track. The only person who can who has a chance to beat not Influencer for P1, goes P2. Just by barely a tenth. And yep, that's the end of quali for most Streets drivers. We still have Swagger Turbo, who has used his ERS and ops to retire from this session. Sandeep Maridu is improving and goes to P6, 4 times off of the one. Not an influencer. Only driver
I think
left.
Destroy Drac had an amazing final sector. So he was like 3 times down on Influencer going into the final sector. I think he just nailed it. He gained those 2 tenths back. So I'm very interested to see what strategy he has in store, considering that he's the one defending his points for the championship.
Yep, although the weather forecast did say that it will rain by the end of quali, I have not seen a single drop of water in the atmosphere over here. So yeah, maybe maybe it was for the race session, if I remember right.
The game just debated us for sure. It was
Well,
probably for the practice session. for all we know.
really hope that we have a wet race, just not to spice things a little bit up here and there. And more than that, I'm hoping that I don't get disconnected from this session. Touch wood. It's a good thing that I have a wooden table. Tapping it as much as I can, just to be on the safe side. So that is your quali results. But please bear with me as I just capture the race director, just to be on the safer side. Although I'm not sure if we will be going ahead with the same lobby, because Sandeep Maridu has gotten a grid penalty. Maybe it will be looked at by the stewards by the end of the race. But in the meantime, not really.
Can you capture the standings below, please?
Yeah, I'm going through it. Non-influencer takes P1, Destroy Dax takes P2, Lean Sipper and the surprising P3, Billy Butcher P4. Good as Bacon nowhere to be seen in the top 5. Definitely an off day for him, unfortunately, as far as quali is concerned. Oh, and that's E-Dog leaving the session. It's a
hello there.
race. Yeah.
Hello there. What do we have in store?
Rain, don't go away, please. Thank you. I hope that is a session timer bug, because I have seen this appearing quite a few times before.
It might just be the session being loaded. I think now everyone would have been loaded onto the session by now. Let's wait. Let's hope so.
Yep, it's just a session. It's giving me a very ominous message. Yeah, let's pray to. I'm praying to all the gods that I can think of that it's not a lobby restart. I don't want to sit through the whole ordeal again. It's a waste of 10 minutes, thanks to the imperfections of this game. Thankfully, it looks like there are no lobby restarts so far. Yep, it's just the drivers loading in their setups, hoping that they have actually ran a wet setup for the quali, or else yeah, sector 1 is going to be hell for them.
If I can just take a moment of everyone's time while we wait on the session to begin. So this is supposed to be the break week. So, but the game being the great it is, we have pretty much every except for tier 2 having a redo. So we've got another race tomorrow night for tier 1, and in parallel a race for tier 4 going on. And as for the rest of the community, I think many of them are just done with F122, and as a result, we've taken an opportunity to revive some of the greater good old days. I'm sorry, I've screwed it up. Yeah, at the time of this weekend, we have put out a message in F1 updates, so we are reviving F1 2020. And I think will bring out more information officially on Discord, but for the time being, to kind of revive the love for the game and to actually play on stable servers, we are going to be conducting a couple of social races in F1 2020. So if you're on the PC side, do grab it if you already have it. If not, it's not, unfortunately not on Steam, so unfortunately you'll be missing out on that. Reinstall it, join us for some good times. We already had one session which was really fun. But yeah, along with that, we're also planning to have a set of course time trial attack coming really soon, so you'll be seeing an official message on that shortly. And yeah, just going to get some more traction going for various events. Obviously ACC will be back next week as well. So yeah, that should be fun as well.
F1 2020, where it all started for me, actually in season 6, way back in season 6. Uh, as a reserve tier driver, I started in Renault. Yeah, I mean, I crashed out in my very first race, unfortunately. But yeah, it was
The good old days.
yeah, good old days where your car doesn't spin out in fifth gear in a straight. So yeah, it's my most favorite F1 game that I've played so far. Although yeah, there are many in my repertoire. I actually started only with F1 2019, and like Kapil over here, who has been driving since he was a toddler, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, enough of that for now. I think yeah, the lobbies, the drivers have readied up. We only have 10 seconds until the lights go out. So, Kapil, why don't you take away the race start, please?
Well, I was hoping you would do the honors, but fine, no worries. Got the grid on. Everybody's on the intermediate tires. 5 lights. And with the big old pause, away we go. A great start from Destroyer Drac is already alongside not an influencer. Will he dive into turn 1? Yes, he does. We've got Lean Zipper going around the outside, and we've got a lot of carnage in the mid pack. Ferraris and Alfa Romeo is taking out each other. Not what you want to see from sister teams, but so be it. We've got full course yellow. Is that a safety car? I believe it is, because Deadshot in the Alpha Tauri has retired from the session. So it is a safety car. We've got E-Dog, who looks to have started from the pit lane, because that was a very slow start. Did he not get off the line? I'm not really sure, but as it stands, not an influencer getting a terrible start and losing 2 positions in the process. Lean Zipper and Destroyer Drac being the predators in this situation.
Not the ideal start for not an influencer. I probably have to go back to the boardroom and work on his race starts. Maybe he should learn a thing or two from me. But anyway, jokes apart. Yeah, but I don't think he will let this slide, because yeah, we've still got 29 laps of race on that. And it's only it is a full course SC. It started with the VSC, so yeah, I was on that. But yeah, full course SC. I don't think any of the apart from the drivers who've accumulated damage, I think we can take a look at who all have gotten any damage. But yeah, apart from those drivers, I don't think anybody will be quitting. And E-Dog, where is he? Yeah, he's doing a Mr. Routh by kissing the wall over there on the side. So
He's touching the grass where it doesn't lie. But
is there any grass there though? No, it's only AstroTurf, Kapil. Oh no, it's actually
Well,
tarmac.
Well, with the amount of rain,
And he's gone.
yeah, he's been disqualified from the session. Probably just calling it quits. He wants to leave the track in a flare, and he has. So that's unfortunate to see.
Yeah, actually, when I mentioned Mr. Routh earlier, it's actually a throwback to what happened in the last, like when we had the actual the race that we had planned according to the calendar. when yeah, Ritesh, unfortunately, why is he pitting though? It doesn't look like he has any damage. Oh, he's got a light green wing, front wing. So yeah, he's pitted. Oh, that's and another his teammate coming in for the double stack, but he'll lose another position. Will he? It's Mr. Roth also, yeah, placing wing, so he won't lose his position. So yeah, both the Alpha Tauris are pitting for wing damage. So that's Ritesh dropping 9 positions, unfortunately. So that means, yeah, he dropped from P6. So not the, yeah, not at all a good start for Ritesh. Bad day for him so far. But yeah, on the earlier topic, so the last time we came here to Miami with Tier 3, because of the lobby host getting kicked out of the session, we witnessed a few hilarious moments where we saw 1 or 2 drivers going and kissing the pit lane pit wall, along with a few other theatrics. Maybe you can go back to the previous stream and rewatch it, because yeah, I was also commentating there, so yeah, that's why I expressed that. Yeah, once again, touch wood, hoping that it doesn't happen this time.
Biggest gainers as of right now, Archit, 7 positions. He's made has a good start, so he's representing for the gainers on the PS side. So we've got 3 PS drivers, no 4. Between Simran, apart from that, the major folks who've dropped down, Ritesh lost 9 positions. Gary Griffin and Wolf Imperia. But the one that we've been talking about before, not an influencer, not getting the launch that he wanted off the line, losing 2 positions as a result. But yeah, it's a long race. We'll have to wait and watch to see who gets the good restart, who gets the bad restart, who loses the front wing, who loses traction, who's unable to get the right positioning. Will we see a Constantino effect? You know, it's all to play for. It's just the beginning of the race, so don't leave the stream, folks. Action is about to get underway very, very soon.
A good restart by the front, by the leading driver would most likely mean, oh, the good restart for everybody else. Sorry for that moment there. I saw the Haas of Eric Griffin almost rear-ending Ritesh. So anyway, good restart for the lead driver. Would in most cases mean good restart for everybody behind him. But a bad restart for the lead driver would be vice versa. Yeah, good restart. Let's hope a good restart. That's all. We don't want another lobby restart, of course.
I don't see the safety car message for coming in yet. Does that mean that would be unusual? Given it's so early. No, it isn't. Wait, it is. Wait, I'm not sure.
Hold on. Yeah, I don't think it's going in. The safety car is staying out. That's weird. Okay, what happened to the what's happened to the Haas? He's lost a front wing. Strangely enough. What about the drivers behind him? So sorry, wrong driver. I think the other drivers have made it out cleanly. So yeah, it looks like something's happened between I think Ace Scoop and Vinay. Vinay with his he's not have quite a few connectivity issues, going beyond even netcode of going a little too slowly over there, probably catching off Ritesh. So yeah, that's probably what caught out Ace Scoop as well, who is currently replacing his wing and putting on a fresh set of intermediates. So
I can understand the frustration of the drivers. When they see a gap, they go for it. That's typical racer mentality. But you got to keep a couple of things in mind in F122, especially in safety car conditions. Firstly, it's a no racing condition. If the gap is there, keep the gap, man. Like, you're not losing out from being a little behind the next driver because you can't overtake them. What is the point? So preserve your front wing. The race is long. As Sir Lewis said, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So take your time, keep your distance, keep your front wing intact. That should be the mentality. But we see time and time again that that's not the case. Of course, and especially it being F122, you just have desync being one of the major contributors to front wing donations here. So as you see, another incident, two more front wings being donated.
Oh no.
One which you unfortunately don't get on stream. But I think the safety car is coming in this lap. So Destroyer Drac is going to be controlling the pace, and all of these guys are going to be, yeah, they're going to be hounding, and they're going to jump on the scene to see to ensure that they are with the leading pack as they go. Dan, walk away with the restart.
Yep, the drivers are warming up, weaving around a lot actually to get some heat into those intermediates. We're probably looking at tires that are at 60 degrees as Destroy Drag actually bolts off quite early. It's a 7-10, 7.5, 10 gap, which is 8 tenths now. That's probably him running a higher low downforce setup as we see a Red Bull. I think yeah, he's lost.
Mohan. It's completely lost it. Yeah, he's dropping, and let's see what kind of a bottleneck he becomes. He's smartly moving out of the way, and he's got a lot of the drivers gonna be bouncing on him from the outside, from the inside, and through him as well. But yeah, unfortunately, Mohan getting the worst of it. We're gonna have to go in and change those tires. Destroy Drag getting a fantastic start. He was power sliding his way into the start finish straight, so he maintains P1 as of right now.
Yep, most of the drivers from P2 to P1 to, I think most of the drivers from top pack have maintained position so far. Mamuka Admi, although yeah, I haven't seen him at all for the until now for the throughout quali and race. Mamuka Swagger getting a little too close to the wall there.
Yeah, he missed quali. He joined in late. He missed it. So
really though, but no, he didn't. He started P10
actually.
He's gained 4 positions. So yep, started in his average quali position and made up 4 positions to P6 now. Oh yeah, good stuff for him, objectively speaking.
Yeah. Let's see how many more he can do to avenge his Red Bull compatriot. Goes a little deep. Swagger Turbo trying to get the better exit, but Mamu has better composure on that throttle and maintains position. We've got Eric Griffin and I believe that was Ritesh. Swagger Turbo squeezing him with his rear, with his front tires, which is never exactly in the prime position that you want to be in. Very interesting lines taken from both of them in these treacherous conditions. The rain is pouring out there. You can see the drivers trying to trickle their way through the first sector.
Yeah, very tricky section here, especially in the rain, because yeah, your car will tend to slip and slide around it by a lot. So yeah, the drivers will have to keep in mind.
Got an influencer really close to Lean Zipper right now. He's gonna go around the outside, squeezed by Lean Zipper. Lean Zipper going deep into the corner, getting a switchback. Taking the wide entry there, an interesting wet line for sure. But Lean Zipper survives, going into neutral for a second there, did not an influencer. Unfortunately, that was not enough. But he's definitely going to remain hot on the tail of Lean Zipper to see if he can get another opportunity. Because he's not going anywhere. Just
Influencers definitely got the pace because he was at one point alongside Lean Zipper, so I'm sensing another attack coming from him in the span of maybe even next lap.
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind that there is another car in front of you for the both of them. So if you're gonna go diving deep, you can't be diving so deep so as to wreck your own front wing. So that just plays very well into the hands of Lean Sipper, but you both of them have to be careful in the way they attack slash defend. So it's treacherous conditions, but as it looks, it's a very interesting place to be for both of them.
I think
Things, yeah.
what
Yeah.
we saw there was slowly Red, I think, outbreaking himself and going too deep, which probably resulted.
Red letting go of the red car, yeah.
Yeah, letting go of AKQ. AKQ J1013. Is 13 a card in the pack? I don't know, because that's what he at least claims that his name is derived from. And also sincere apologies to him for completely destroying his name, as we'll come back to that bit a little later. Not an influencer. Attempts for a move, but doesn't manage to
Drac
stick.
in front, getting out of shape. Yeah, go on.
Completely goes out of shape, like you said, Kapil. Glad that you caught that. Outbreaks himself, goes way too deep. That heartbreaking 90-degree corner. Loses a lot of time in the process, as the gap between these three drivers is just 1 second. Drivers already low, so low on Yaris, at least as far as not influencer is concerned. Destroyer Drag has still half a tank left in his Yaris storage. Same goes for Lean Sipper. So yeah, probably explains why not influencer has been catching up so easily in these starting few laps.
Well, indeed, but it is a long one, and as it stands, no changes in the restart. But that's good. The way it looks like right now, with such a low gap, Drac looks to be the coke in the bottle. He's not able to drive away from these two, and at the end of the lap, the gap is marginal, if any. So that is something that he would definitely want to keep that track position, because if he loses it, he may not get the opportunity, looking at the raw pace wise, to get back on it. But as it stands, he's in a comfortable position to keep going. But not an influencer. Is not giving up. He is so hungry for that position. Will he go down the inside? He's sniffing the bottom of that Williams. Thinks about the same move, trying that switchback all over again, but simply doesn't have the opportunity. The corner just isn't favorable for you when you go around the outside. So you will have to think about a different approach, or you just have to try again. You've got over 21 laps to do the same. I wish you the best of luck on the influence.
Well, if it was an actual racetrack, he would have probably gone for an Alonso-esque move, like one he did on Yuki Tsunoda in Austria. Go completely off track onto the grass, touch some grass, and make the move. But yeah, these walls are not helping his cause, as Swagger Turbo also gets very close to that Red Bull of Mount Clary. I think yeah, that's Mr. Roth donating his front wing,
Yes.
left end plate. Yeah. Moving on. Swagger Turbo keeping quite close to that Red Bull again, P6. So although Mount Clary is not quite a lot there, which has helped Swagger catch up by a lot. Also, although Swagger also is having a hard time tackling this section. Yeah.
Oh, Swagger Turbo has damage. He's got a yellow front wing. That is not gonna help his cause. And he's already being hunted. Good is Bacon looking to make a move on Billy Butcher there. Goes down the inside. That's the right line, but unfortunately doesn't have it. Billy Butcher goes deep. He goes outside the track. Will Goodis Bacon make the move the side by side into the next section, which is the most twistiest, the slowest part of the track, and he gets the move done. A fantastic move there by Goodis Bacon to move up into P4.
Well,
That is some beautiful racing, and a fine example which not an influencer could use. He pressurized Billy Butcher into making that mistake, but on right ahead, Lean Supper hasn't cracked it yet. But Goodis Bacon reaps the reward and moves up into P4. Yes, Dan.
Well, under normal racing circumstances, I would have just let Gudisbegan go ahead there because we've got that long as hell DRS, that the long as hell straight over there, and aided by DRS, it will be an easy, return of that position. But yeah, rain is it is raining here right now, so yeah, it will be tough. Oof, that's the Ferrari of AQ10 going a little too deep there once again. That corner has been catching out a lot of drivers. We saw like I've seen like 4 drivers so far missing going too deep into turn 1. Yeah.
AKQ being the first driver to rack up a penalty along with Mohan. I'm not sure if Mohan got a 5-second for speeding in the pit lane, but so I can see that it's still got wet lines all around. The track hasn't fully dried up yet. Slowly getting it on the braking zone. But interesting to note that Swagger Turbo with that front wing damage is still able to keep ahead of AKQ. Just shows the pace, or maybe each of them might be rocking up some damage.
Yes. Well, with the that's slowly red, almost losing it in the exit there. But yeah. The game has got a new bug where the spectators cannot see the damage on the car, even though it's there. For example, you might have seen. I mean, you can see it now also because Swagger has got a yellow front left wing, but from our angle it looks like his wing is completely fine. So yeah, if the driver's telemetry is off, we can't really say. As Slowy Red goes for a move, attempts for a move down the inside.
No, he's just lost a move.
Yeah, that was Archit actually making a move. So yeah, quali ban? I don't think so. That's what Archit's thinking today. Starting all the way in the bottom, and I think hard. Yeah, he's gained 10 positions. So yeah, that's a mighty drive so far from this McLaren boy. Over that Swagger, yep, that's the end of his saga and P. Oh, not really though, because he's going alongside.
Getting a Ferrari versus Mercedes battle, tucks into the slipstream, thinking of the inside, but there is no inside, so he pushes AQQ, saying that I will make the inside and I will get the move done. Dives down the inside, little bit of argy-bargy stuff there, but AKQ with that fully intact front wing is able to get the downforce and the traction at the corner to keep that position and complete the run.
Couple's probably getting some PTSD movements here. Swagger thinks about going for a switch back over there. In spite of the damage, he is not holding anything back. He's pushing it all the way there. There's a switch in positions in the front, the top 3 here. Lead non-influencer attempting for a move down the back straight. Keeping it really close to the back of Lean Sipper, although yeah, he's not close enough. Lean Sipper guarding the inside with all its life. What a mighty defense this fellow's putting. Not like a Williams driver you'd expect in real life.
Indeed. But that's allowing Destroyed Rack to slowly cover the gaps. It's increased to 1.6, so that's something that both of them have to be a little cognizant about, saying, you know what, let's not fight each other, we need to get back. But how does not influencer do that is the interesting strategy.
Yep, not an influencer. Probably, yeah. Oh no, he's got nothing left in his DRS tank. So not very wise from him. He's not thinking about the long run at all. Once again, making many mistakes, not really applying the pressure on Lean Sipper, who's still got half a tank of ERS left. So yeah, it's unless he not an influencer kissing the rear of Lean Sipper once again. Luckily does not get any damage, at least from what we see so far. Destroyed Rack has also made a massive mistake, losing almost a second to Lean Sipper.
It's crunch time for not an influencer right now, because as we saw a couple of minutes ago, we've got around 5 minutes until track is fully dry and the folks bolt on for slicks. So he has to think about the long game right now. Like he has to think about re recharging a bit of that ERS so that he can actually go on a charge come dry conditions. He's not in a position to do that while Leanzipur is comfortably in that. So I think Leanzipur is in a fantastic position right now. Vinay and Ace Scoop. Wow, that was very interesting lines from the pair of them. Ace Scoop making a move there. Move to 350.
Win is also driving without an end plate. Finally, okay, it works. At least you can see what how much damage he's got. Oh, completely misjudged his braking.
They've easily taken him out in the process.
Yeah.
Lucky that.
Good thing he had a bit of a gap to him. Not an influencer. Yeah, not really. Not a wise decision. Completely emptying out, like, running it dry actually. It looks like it has maybe worked because he's put on a lot of pressure. Leanzipur made a very big mistake over there, but yeah, he's somehow managed to fend him off. In the meantime, Slowy Red is pulling alongside the other McLaren. One blue car behind an orange car. That's pretty much been the order of the day, hasn't it, Kapil?
Indeed.
It's
actually the other way around.
It's actually the other way around. So yeah, a blue car fighting an orange car. Yeah.
So we got a mirror image. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Unfortunately, not an influencer, not getting that. Oh, he's side by side with Leanzipur right now, but he is unable to get that final traction out of the last corner. So you can see he's inches away going into turn 1. Will he actually make the move? He thinks better of it. Oh, there is contact, but that is between Arshit and the Slowy Red. Going out of the final breaking point. Arshit keeping that position still. Man, this is the lovely racing that you see, but it's nearly dry. You can see the racing line form, and it's just maybe a lap or two more time until the boys bolt on for slicks. What tire do you think is the right one to be on for the second straight?
If it's after lap 16, I would go for a set of mediums. But if it's like drying up right now, like immediately, it's the best thing to do would be still medium actually, because the odds by the end, like I don't think the medium should drop off by that much, but it all depends on how these boys manage their tires, and by the looks of it, not very well so far.
And another thing to note, as not an influencer is inches away from that wall, is the warm up. These are cold conditions right now, and hard tires would take longer. It just puts you in a much more vulnerable position coming out of the pits. With all of these cars fairly bunched up together, I think it's quite important to not be on the wrong strategy. Losing those positions would kind of be detrimental, and I don't think the degradation of the medium tires is so much. At given this point, yeah, I think I'd agree with you going on the medium tires. Just makes more sense. Having said that, we're a little over half. No worries. Halfway. A little over. No worries. Halfway over past the race. Into the race, sorry. And as it stands, Destroyed Rack getting that lovely move into turn 1. And Leanzipur as well making that move stick, not an influencer, being the big loser in the top 3. Good as Bacon making a fantastic movement on Billy Butcher into P4. Mamuka Azmi gained 4 positions, so he's up to P6, and AKQ is now hot on his tail. He had a lot of traffic to contest with the likes of Swagger Turbo and Slowy Red, and he's been able to dispatch them. That's fantastic from him. Swagger Turbo has a bit of damage, and he's been nursing his car all throughout so far. Arshit, he is the man of the hour, starting all the way back in P20, moving his way up, clawing his way up, shall I say, to P9. Slowy Red had a good, interesting start, but unfortunately lost a couple of positions in the midst of it with the rest of the drivers. Not an
Oh,
influencer getting a better exit this time, finally getting that traction that he so long wished for. But what does Lean Zipper have? He has ERS, and he's going to be deploying all of that as they go side by side into turn one. Who's the late breaker? Lean
oh
Zipper
no!
is gone deep into it, and not an influencer. Finally, after 16 laps, gets back P2, and that must be his final achievement right now. I must say, he must be really happy to finally get across and move up into P2. The gap is little under 2 seconds. Let's see how much of a charge he can put to get back into the clutches of the race win.
Well, that must have been a mighty mistake from Lean Zipper even before the overtake was made, because lost quite a bit of time for him to catch up, for influencer to catch up on him like that.
Yep.
And yeah, the influencer also made the right move at the right time by pressuring him into covering the inside to set him up for a perfect switchback, as we see.
Mamu Kadmi and AKQ, there were two position swapped twice. This time AKQ going, making the corner, getting the move done. He got it done before the first straight, and he almost lost it in the middle of it, with Mamu coming back to him with the aid of Slipstream. He's able to stick the move, and he moves up into P6. Ritesh is the first one to bolt on the set of slicks, and Mr. Raut follows suit. Very interested to see how much how much pace he has, because the DRS has not been enabled just yet. So very interested to see what kind of an influence he can have. He's going really deep. He might have bossed it an almighty amount, given the fact that he's losing time over Fist right now. Having said that, Swagger Turbo is the next one into the pits, taking that gamble. Will he also change his front
Yep,
wing?
he does.
Yes, he does. That will be interesting. He might fare a little better than Ritesh, but we'll have to see if it's the right decision.
Provided the wet track doesn't catch him out again and break his wing again.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
speaking of broken wings, I think that's Mr. Roth. Yeah, I think he's left the session.
Yeah, he's still got his front wing. That's the important bit.
Oh yeah, he does. Never mind then. Yeah, he's pitted for a session. So added in place. Yep. The track is fully not dry, although. So any driver who pits onto the slicks should be prepared for it. As you can see, Eric Griffin, I think, has had a shoddy pit exit. Spun around, I saw yellow flags at the pit exit there. Ritesh is closely trailing him. He's got to take it really carefully behind him, because he shouldn't risk any more damage to his already ruined race. Eric Griffin having a really hard time keeping it on track. They're going side by side.
Skating through the track. These guys are drifting through sector 1 and having a battle. Eric Griffin loses his rear wing, but luckily keeps it on track. These guys are losing way too much time. Just to put into perspective how much time, Swagger Turbo came out of the pits with a little under 7 seconds to gap to Vinay, and it's doubled in the span of under a lap. So it is not the right time, ladies and gentlemen. These guys have definitely made a huge error on that bit.
A massive error indeed. Another yellow flag caused by Mr. Roth in penultimate corner. So the drivers probably saw. I think Ritesh was the first driver to go into the pits for slicks. The other drivers who pitted probably saw him and got the the shortest way to put it is you got jibaited, son. They got jibaited really hard. The track is complete. It's still very wet. Aquaplaning all over the place if you are on slicks. So not a good time to be out there on those bald as hell tires.
Indeed, we got Yeah, purple sector 2 for not an influencer. He's reduced that gap from 1.8 to 1.1 right now. So he's definitely getting a move on and putting a little more pressure on Destroy Drac. That's exactly what we want to see. Destroy Drac responds with a faster lap and it's matched by not an influencer. So game on for P1, 18 laps, 19 laps into the Grand Prix as it stands, and it's surprisingly the track is simply not drying at all. This is very disheartening to see for those who made that gamble onto the slick tires. Arshit now blinks and he's bolting on the slicks. Will he be able to fare any better? He goes on to the medium tires while Eric Griffin bolts on the soft tire. But I believe that was majorly because of his mistake than anything else.
Yeah, that's Eric Griffin again. Oh, what happened? Yeah, there we go. Eric Griffin's putting
Good as Baker has caught up to Lean Zipper, so that pace on the Williams rapidly running out. He was holding. He had decent pace, but after that overtake, I think he got the wind shaken out of him. And good as Bacon now. I think these two are going to battle it out for the PS supremacy in Tier 3. So you can see a ray of sunshine as we go through the back straight, or shall I say the perpendicular straight. But as it stands, who's going to blink and come into the pits? It's not an influencer. He's taking the gamble as he sees the sunlight. It talks to him from above, and he's going to bolt on. Which tire I might want to see? It would be an interesting decision if he went on to the softs, because that's what's going to activate the max the best. But he takes the safer option and bolts on the medium, and so does Good as Bacon. Wait, Lean Zipper goes on to mediums as well, but he's able to jump Good as Bacon in the pits. No, wait, actually, wait.
Lean Zipper was always ahead of Good as Bacon.
My bad. So he keeps that position now, but he makes a mistake.
What
No,
was
wait, that was an
doing?
Alpha Tauri. That was an Alpha Tauri.
Alpha Tauri parked at the exit of the pit lane. I think Good as Bacon went and hit him. Let's see if he's got any damage. This helicam is not. Yeah, he doesn't laugh. That's very lucky. Oh, that was a heart in the mouth moment there. Mr. Rod, that was. My God.
Eric Griffin again pitting for another set of mediums. He's not having any luck there. And he gets a 5 seconds this time.
He's still got maybe
She's
he's
really
still taking
close,
off some of
yes.
that rust from not racing, as the track has almost dried up. At least the racing line is almost completely dry.
But the gap is not decreasing between Destroy Drac and not an influencer. If anything, they've lost a second. So not exactly what you want to see. See, he's just on the fastest lap of a 136
Destroy Drac has made a big mistake. The track is completely dry now.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, his pace is great right now, and I don't see any purple or green sectors from these folks just yet. So I think now I can see that the gap is slowly coming down. I think he might have just missed the ball.
But in the
We'll
game,
have to wait. How costly that mistake is going to be right now.
look at that, already you're 10th in the first section. I'd call it. It's a multitude of corners, of course. Let's see. I think this S section will decide how much whether Destroy Drac's gamble has paid off, because it certainly hasn't. He's already lost a second, more than a second, and it's
In one sector.
gradually
Oh
gaining.
my goodness.
Gradually gaining, increasing.
And he's deploying all of his here. He's going to have nothing to fight with. But yes, the main thing right now is he's going to get that track position, which is the most important thing. Yes, it has.
Lean Zipper are going side by side. Lean Zipper covers off the inside as cleverly as he has been doing since the last few encounters that he had with not an influencer, but this time managed to do it successfully. Destroy track. Oh, does not have. Yeah, he's messed up his pit lane entry. Yeah, this will be easy pickings for not an influencer. No question.
Yeah, I think he's gonna come out in the clutches of Lean Super right now. The way it's looking like he's lost so much time to these guys, and not an influence is gonna be sailing through. But yes, you see it, folks. He's holding on a different set for a final dash. 134 from not an influence. 5.5 seconds. Oh, it was it 5.5? Yeah,
Why
it
he
was.
still come out ahead of not an influencer? How is he done it? How has he done it? I think, yeah, that's definitely not an influencer's ERS management that has caught him out, because he was down to zero, completely zero at the end of the straight. Oh, his tires are still not warmed up yet, but that's probably not playing to the advantage of Destroy Drag, although it will, the tires will warm up a little more by the end of this lap, maybe. Billy Butcher has bottled it in the S section, but more on that later. Destroy Drag has made a perfect strategy call
Got
here.
two moves going side by side, and not an influencer moves into P1 of the Miami Grand Prix. Good as Bacon has also made a 7er move and moved up into P3. We've got two battles going on, but Destroy Drag has more ERS and he's got the softer tire. So this is not over, folks. This is just the start of the round 3. So don't go anywhere. We got some hot action for you in the form of the battle for the lead and the battle for P3, with Lean Super immediately retaliating for P3. That is a fantastic move there to catch him off guard to move into P3.
Good as Bacon almost re-landing Lean Zipper, but yeah, just goes. It doesn't. Just manages to turn a little later. So yeah, managed to save his day as well as Lean Zipper. So, Destroy Drag has made a mistake. Has lost 6/10 from not an influencer. He's got his influences on the pace definitely, because in spite of holding on, the inferior compound has maybe slightly maybe because of his own skill, keeping the gap. Yeah, that's definitely influencers skill and actually at work there. Destroy Drag, in spite of having
Not got the DRS. No.
doesn't have DRS either, but yeah, not an influencer also. He's also very low in DRS, so that will play into Destroy Drag's hands. Not a lot of cars here into the circuit to begin with. So yeah. Oh, Destroy Drag's making too many mistakes. I think influencers got this in the bag for sure.
That's the way it would look right now at the moment. We'll have to come back to this and maybe see if Destroy Drag get some second
It's a safety
win.
car! It's a safety car. Eric Griffin was the one who brought it out, although we'll have to wait and see if it was a retirement on track, because that is not a that's not a place where you retire normally. We'll have to wait and see if that was retirement on track or an actual crash. So, yep, late drama here with just 6 laps left to go, as the safety car has come out. That's thrown a lot of strategies out. And Bacon has pit. He's pit for a set of softs and has dropped 4 positions. Yeah, I think he was in P4, so yeah, he just dropped 2 positions.
Yeah, I think he thought it would be a worthy gamble, but why he would think that when he had a chance for the win is beyond me, because now he's gotta make up that gap.
We're also forgetting about the time penalties. Look at AKQ and Slowies, and both got 3 seconds.
Yeah, that might be the case, but he still has to overtake at least one car to come back to where he was. Now, whichever pace advantage you might have on those softs, is still work to be done with not a lot of laps to go. The field is very spread out, so we might only see the safety car come in at the end of lap 26 maybe. That's the way it's looking right at this rate. So quite interested to know what his strategy was coming to the pits at this point in time. Maybe had some damage. We'll have to go back and check that one. But as it stands, not an influencer, starting out in P1, immediately losing 2 positions, and then with a hard-fought battle, first through leads above with almost a 16-17 lap battle with him, making those dive bombs, making his position fully aware, finally getting that move in, and just a few laps ago, making an interesting dive down the inside to get the move done on Destroyer Drag to regain the lead of the Miami Grand Prix. Destroyer Drag has the pace advantage in terms of he has a tire compound advantage. Now whether that translates to a pace advantage, because these two are just separated by less than a tenth, a tenth, my bad, in quali. So this might just be what Destroyer Drag needs to extend his lead in the Tier 3 championship. We'll have to wait and see if that is going to be the case tonight. So don't go anywhere, folks. But yeah, a very, very interesting situation we got here.
Interesting indeed, because well, as far as Destroyer Drag's situation is concerned, by the end of the safety car period, his tires would have run 4 laps, but his wear would be significantly lesser. So he's still got a chance if he keeps his head down, keeps his mind cool, calms his nerves. Basically, you get the gist. To salvage a win out of this race, but he's going against the leader right now of this Tier 3 championship, who's put on an outstanding performance so far. Apart from his IRC management, of course, he's made the overtakes. He's made the right strategy calls. He's got.
I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding that we have here, Sajay. The current Tier 3 championship leader is Destroyer Drag.
Oh damn!
Not an influencer. Destroyer Drag has 180 points. He's got 40 points ahead of Not an Influencer. So though Not an Influencer has the quali pace, Destroyer Drag has the consistency. That's what we've seen in the championship so far. So it's kind of crucial that Not an Influencer wins this race so that he can claw back some points and actually keeps the title fight alive.
Sorry about that mess up there, folks. Yeah, it's a Dan moment, recorded in 4K. Sorry, 1080p. But anyway, that doesn't take away, and that doesn't take anything away from the merit of Not an Influencer. Of course, he's put on a brilliant ride here so far. But these last 3 laps, I think, will be the decider of this almost an hour and a half long race. It's 9:24. We'll start this race. Yeah, it's almost about to be an hour and a half, but probably will extend a little more, little longer. But yeah, it's been a thriller so far, hasn't it?
As it has. And I'm just curious to see, what kind of action goes underway with the rest of the pack. Lean Zipper now kind of gifted a P3, if you will. And AKQ coming up the ranks to go back into P4. That's a fantastic play for him. Slowing it as well. I mean, I think he's got the right strategy in mind. That's why he's been able to kind of get that gap and move up into P4. He was fighting along the lines of Mamuka Admi and Harshit. He just like bolted out, gotten the right, gone in at the right time to come out in P4. So that's fantastic for him. Safety car is in this lap for the final time. Yeah, and audience.
Cars in this lap, racing's back, drivers are weaving, tires are getting hot, and the sun is still behind the clouds. Uh, who's going to make the best out of this situation? Not an influencer is still warming up his tires, probably taking it as long as he can, but he managed to get the jump on destroyer track, as increases gap to 6 tenths already. AKQ, however, is alongside. Zipper makes the move down the inside. Although, yep, that's. No, he's bottled it completely. And
AKQ and Lean Zipper have come together, and Lean Zipper has donated his front wing into turn 2. That was really unfortunate. But yeah, as it stands, Good as Bacon has already moved up into P4. He's got a fantastic restart. He's going to be hot on the tail of Leeds, but move back into P3. But Destroyer Track is already a second behind Not an Influencer. He's not gone his way as so far in the restart. But goddamn, that was very unfortunate for the AKQ. He made all that effort to go back, to fight for the podium position, only to lose it with 1 point of contact.
like I said earlier, Kapil, these few laps will be the make or break laps for all of these drivers, if I'm not wrong. That's Mabu Kalmi and making another mistake. He's getting
side into the.
he's Wolf Imperia, and Wolf
That was
Imperia
never gonna
spread out.
happen.
Wolf
That
Imperia.
was never gonna happen.
Oh, that's another Alpine.
That's Vinay as well.
Your donuts giving a spectacle for the people who are sitting under that underpass. But oh no, that's quite a few of the races of these drivers torn apart there. In the meantime, the front of the pack, Good as Bacon still closely tailing Lee Zipper. Just 3 tenths the gap between them. Destroyer Track, however, in spite of having having a soft tires, does not have any pace. Looks like Lee Zipper just gave him way, but he's still barely managing to hold on to that Williams, the Lee Zipper and that Williams. Just 2 laps of racing left. Not an Influencer has bolted off into the distance. The gap 2 seconds now, strangely enough. It's just these 3 drivers who have to decide the podium positions. P2 and P3. It's going down to the wire.
Indeed, it is. Just no pace in Destroyer Track's tires, and it's just not able to gain any momentum on Not an Influencer. Lean Zipper and Good as Bacon are hot on the tail. We've got 1 more lap of racing with almost 3 cars behind Destroyer Track. Then the next lap, you have, I believe, 3 opportunities again to make a move on Destroyer Track with the aid of DRS. 1 lap only DRS special for you boys.
Oh no!
And there's a mistake!
That's a
Good as
mistake.
Bacon loses the traction and he's smashed Lean Zipper's front wing, Slowy Red and Arshit right behind him. Oh wait, was that? No, that was Slowy Red who's made contact with Good as Bacon. So Arshit Red is probably gonna Arshit 05 is gonna make a move and probably gain from this. But that was really unfortunate. Put him out of contention. 2-second gap. Lean Zipper though, he is the only one who has a chance of gaining 1 more position. That's the way it looks like. We've got 1 final dash, other than 1 more, so second last, shall I say. He's got the DRS. He activates it, deploying all of it. No, yes, he thinks better of it. Which is very interesting. So he's got hardly a few corners left. He's keeping it nice and tight. He does not want to make any screw ups here. He's kissing the back of Destroyer Track's car here. He's got the grip advantage. Will he be able?
Sorry, go ahead.
Will he be able to make the move? It is deploying every ounce of his ERS. Both of them are flashing, going side by side into the last braking corner. Who brakes later? They're braking side by side. We've got a bit of contact on DC, I'm not really sure, but Lean Zipper makes the move. And with 1 corner to go, goes up into P2 for the What a fantastic finish!
Volkswagen
Only
Turbo is
0p2.
retired in the last corner, in the last lap. That is so disheartening for that Mercedes driver. Oh no. Swagger Turbo, how did he do that? Oh man. It was quite a scene that I missed. Swagger Turbo, man, apart from the wrong strategy call, he put on quite a good defense here in Miami.
Did him
broken
dirty,
wing.
really did him dirty there with the last corner. AKQ taking his time and being the last car to cross the line. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You can see it in the disarray and the dismay in Sir SSJ's voice that this was a very interesting and unfortunate end for Swagger Turbo, but an amazing comeback from Lean Super to finish P2 and an all-round fantastic performance from all the boys here in Tier 3.
Well, I think that the Alpine driver was the game changer at that point because Good as Bacon was hot on his tail. I think if it had gone on for any longer, Lean Sipper would have been swallowed up, and that's quite an interesting celebration from non-influencer. So, yep, these are the results for you. But once again, before we go through this, I would like to just quickly capture all this race director. So,
Alright, I'll leave you to it, Dan, for the interviews. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It was a great race. See you next time.
Yeah, thank you for joining me in the Combox, Kapil.
Anytime.
Yep. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. The results: Not an Influencer taking P1, leads for P2, and Destroy Drag P3. Good as Bacon had put on a good performance, but couldn't capitalize on that late safety car due to that incident with the Alpine behind. So yeah, we'll take you to the podium interviews. Meantime, just waiting for the drivers to join. Right then, while we're still here, we've got one driver, the winner of this race, in fact, not an influencer, with us right now. So while we wait for the other drivers, maybe we can start with him. So, not an influencer, mighty performance that you've put here in Miami today in this redo race. So apart from that race start, it's almost like everything went to perfection with you. I noticed that you were struggling quite a bit during the wet stint. So yeah, just talk us through your experience in this race.
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much, and congratulations to Lean Sipper and Destroy Track on the podium. Yeah, the first stint was pretty tough because Lean Sipper's internet, I think, was not well, and he was desyncing all over the place. So I think the overtake would have happened a lot earlier if that wouldn't have been an issue. I mean, it's very tough to judge someone if he's blocking the inside or the outside. But anyway, I think I got frustrated on lap 14 or 15, and I just turned my ERS and I was like, let's just get over with it. Otherwise, a good race so far. I think the calls were nice, the pit window was nice, and even the safety car sort of worked in my favor. So all in all, it's a good race.
Yep, we actually I caught it on stream also quite a few times that during the wet stint itself, and actually by lap 6 or 5 itself, you were almost your ERS tank was almost empty, and you were still deploying as much ERS as you could, completely drying out. So what was going through your mind at that moment?
I mean, so in initially I thought let's just wait this out. Let's just wait for the dry patch to come in, and then we'll overtake him in the DRS. And even Destroyer was not able to get very far away from us, so I wanted to wait initially. But then in lap 5 or lap 6, I saw that after the left-hander, he usually is losing some time, and I was quite close to him. I went wheel to wheel with him before the chicane came in, so I just wanted to overtake him. But after like 3 attempts, I sort of thought, okay, let's just wait and let's just not lose time to uh, destroy in the front. So I just wanted to wait, and I just wanted to wait. I just wanted to wait, like wait for the try pass though. But then I just picked his moment, the moment he made a big mistake, and I think that was it.
Yep, we all thought that actually even during that safety car, sorry, when the track got dry, we actually thought that Destroy Drag had made the absolute right, the best
Yeah.
call there, waiting for waiting a little longer and going on to the soft tire, but
Yeah.
he didn't look like it didn't look like he had the pace on those tires. So maybe I can ask that to him directly after congratulating you, of course, not an influencer, on a brilliant
Thank you.
race today. So,
Thank you.
yep, you have a good one, mate, for this weekend. Destroy Track, you there?
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, my friend, and I think you're also pretty ecstatic, feeling ecstatic right now after scoring a P2 in the last race.
Yeah, I'm really happy with this because this was one of my weakest tracks on the whole calendar. So I'm happy to get a podium there. Um,
Yep. What happened in the end? Actually, I'd mentioned earlier when, I was interviewing not an influencer that those soft tires didn't seem to work at all for you. After the track dried up.
yeah, I initially thought it was actually gonna be useful for another 8 laps, and also after the restart, I thought I can try to get some initial grip, considering there would be no DRS. But unfortunately, the soft tires did not have a big advantage over the mediums. And also I was kind of struggling for pace after it dried up. I was kind of holding them off and doing quite well in during the inter conditions, but I think during the dries, I think it was not an influencer who was really quick. I think he had the pace today, so I was struggling a bit. And I think after the safety car restart, I made a very big mistake on that very small section just before the last back straight, that chicane. I almost lost it. I somehow controlled it and got back on track. And then I thought, okay, let me just keep my head straight and try to get P2 because he had already managed to get a gap of 2.5 seconds.
Yep.
Then in the end, Lean Sipper, because of his internet or whatever it is, he actually bumped into me on the back straight, and then I actually hit the wall, and that's where I lost the position to him because I lost momentum over there and lost speed. And it was very difficult to race alongside him as his internet was pretty much bad, I guess. So I don't know. Yeah,
Yep.
happy with the P3.
Once again, congratulations on scoring the P3. Yeah, I have to make the correction there because I thought you scored P2. For the most part, it was a good race for you, a good performance on your part.
Yeah.
Uh, Maybe next time you could you can nail the strategy and extend your championship lead further. I think before this race it was you were leading by 40 points, but it should narrow down by 5 points. Yeah, it's 35 points something. But anyway, we've still got 5 races left to go. So yeah, I just we all hope that you guys put out a good fight.
Yeah,
Once again,
it's not gonna be
congratulations.
an easy task with not an influencer around. Congratulations to him and also Lean Zipper. Great race.
Yep. Moving on to
Thank
Lean
you.
Sipper, our P3 finisher for the day. Talk us through your race, man. How was it for you?
Yeah, pretty good qualifying session to begin with, and we also had some problems with my teammate. He couldn't join the session, so we couldn't go as many points as we liked. But and also on a side note, sorry to anyone who had any inconveniences with my wife. I will definitely look into that. But it's the first time this is happening. And also sorry to destroy a track in the last lap. I accidentally bumped him as I could have easily taken him on the straight and made the move stick. But there was actually a glitch happening. He was moving back and forth, so I will definitely have to look into my internet. And otherwise, just good race, good points. Nothing more I could ask for. Lovely little battle with Northern Influencer in the beginning when it was raining, and yeah, that's it.
Well, let's not forget that the Mercedes in P4. By the end, he was giving you a lot of trouble, wasn't he? Especially, since you were on the mediums, old mediums, relatively
Yep.
old mediums, and he was on fresh softs.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that after the dry stint had started. He was giving me a pretty hard time, but I remember the safety car coming out, and suddenly I didn't see him behind me anywhere. I suddenly saw him 2 positions down, and I thought, what the hell? I didn't see him having a crash, having a spin, or whatever. So I don't really know what happened there.
Yep. Well, he was quite close to you in the back straight, but then I think he was. I think that he was tagged by the Alpine behind him. Misjudged his braking and maybe rear-ended him. Not sure. We probably will have to look at the reports.
That's tough. Like we would have had an amazing battle after the safety car if he was right behind me. Looking forward to that.
Yep. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
But for this time, for the drive you put on today, congratulations.
Yep,
For your
thank
P2.
you. Thank you.
Well, that's it, folks. For the redo round, for the redo race of round 5 of Tier 3 of IRC esports season X. This is not the end of the action, however, because we will be live with Tier 1 tomorrow at 8 p.m. Once again, a redo of round 3 of a redo of round 3. We will be in Mexico, in Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. So it will be an OSQ sprint and 50% race format. So yeah, it will be a pain. Especially with the desync issues and whatnot that what the game has still got in spite of 1 year into its development. But anyway, touch wood. We hope we don't encounter any of that. So make sure to join us for that race as well. You can hit the subscribe button as well as the bell icon to keep track of our live streams. And if you're also into the racing action, please make sure to join our Discord and sign up for the league race. We also do ACC leagues as well. Right now we have we just started the 7th iteration of our ACC league. So, and we are 2 races into the league already. Next weekend, I think. What race is it? Let me just take a quick look. Yeah, we will be live in Laguna Seca, and yeah, once again, apologies. It's this will be our 4th round. So anyway, if you are a racer, hit the subscribe button, join our Discord. Make sure also to follow us on our socials on Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, the links are all down there in the description below. But for now, this is Sir SSJassassin, your streamer / commentator for the day. And signing off for me as well as Kapil. Good night.